Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog, so kind of late at night here, 9 o'clock at night, but it finally happened. The Lakers have traded Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz in a 3-team deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So this is coming from Woj. I'm pretty positive that we're going to get more out of this as time goes on, because sometimes Woj gets the years wrong. I'm not sure why, but sometimes he just gets the years wrong on the picks. But according to Adrian Wojnarowski on ESPN, the Lakers are finalizing a deal to land Minnesota's D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt in a trade including Mike Conley and picks to the Timberwolves and Russell Westbrook and a lightly protected 2027 first-round pick to Utah. So here's the deal. Long story short, the Lakers are getting D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. D'Angelo Russell is going there from Minnesota. Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt are coming from the Utah Jazz. Mike Conley is going from the Utah Jazz to Minnesota. And Russell Westbrook is going to Utah. And that 2027 first-round pick is going to Utah, but it's protected 1 through 4. So, literally, the best that 2027 first-round pick can be for Utah is 5th overall in the 2027 NBA draft, which isn't too bad. I mean, like, it's still a top 10 pick. It sucks. They would have liked it to be, top 3, top 4. But 5th is, I don't know, this means that first round pick's probably going to be like, 6th or 7th overall in that draft, which still isn't bad. Also included in the deal is Juan Toscano Anderson and Damian Jones. They're going to the Jazz from the Lakers. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker from the Jazz is going to the Timberwolves, which they're a bunch of no-name players. Juan Toscano Anderson's best days were in Golden State. Players have been informed of the trade. The deal is now fully complete, and the second round picks that were included in here is Minnesota is getting a second round pick in 2024, which is the lesser of the Washington-Memphis records, second round pick, and a 2025 and 2026 second round pick is being sent to Utah. So I don't know who's sending those 2 picks. I'm assuming the Lakers? It's either the Lakers or Minnesota. I don't know who, but basically Utah's getting a shit ton of draft picks once again, which the 2025 and the 2026 will probably be late first rounders, I'm assuming, depending on if there's protections on them or not. We don't know what the protections on the picks are at the moment, but I will say this. Russell Westbrook is definitely going to get bought out. That's been widely known. So Utah is going to take on Russell Westbrook, buy him out for $47 million, and he can sign wherever he wants. Is anybody going to sign him? Probably not. If I'm taking a flyer on it, I think Russell Westbrook's NBA career is finished. I know that sounds like a stretch, but dude has just not played well the past 2 years for any team to really even justify taking a flyer on him, unless you're just a really shitty basketball team and want to try to put asses in your seats. If anybody even thinks Russell Westbrook is a reputable name anymore in the NBA, which I don't really think they do. There's a lot of fans out there who think Russell Westbrook's amazing. I was in the camp of saying that I think he is shit, so that's where we're at. And I think we saw this coming, man. Like, it was a long time coming, but it was better late than never. In return, I will say this. Mike Conley is going to be a solid veteran point guard for the Timberwolves. Mike Conley is a guy that, yes, he's older, but he's proven that, like, he can stay on the court. Like, Mike Conley, I said this a while ago, in a potential trade for D'Angelo Russell, is sending him to Utah for Mike Conley. And sure enough, that's what happened. This year, Mike Conley's played 43 games. He has started for 42 of them. He's playing 30 minutes a game. He's shooting 40% from the field and 36% from 3, 81% from the free throw line, averaging about 10 points a game, 10.5, and about 7.5 assists with 1 steal. Mike Conley's 35, bro. They're really picking him up for this year, and then maybe next year they're going to try to flip him again at the deadline. But He more fits what the Minnesota Timberwolves need. Like, they really didn't need a point guard who's going to come out here and jack shots. They already have too many mouths to feed in Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and Rudy Gobert. Having a point guard that needs to jack shots too didn't seem very beneficial to them, okay? So I kind of actually like the Mike Conley move for Minnesota. It isn't the end of the world. I like the 2027 first rounder for Utah. Yeah, they're buying out Russell Westbrook, but you know what? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I mean, they're playing for Victor Wembanyama, and they're not worried about Russell Westbrook's salary. Like, they can eat it. Danny Ainge is worried about getting high draft picks, okay? He's being Sam Presti right now, and I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with Utah doing this, What I like about the Mike Conley trade, mostly for Utah, is the idea that I really think guys like Ochai Agbaji, who have shown to be very solid rookies, is going to get more playing time out of this. I think we're going to see more Jordan Clarkson running point guard potentially. Colin Sexton's going to get more opportunity. So I like this. Getting rid of Mike Conley means Colin Sexton gets to start. This means Jordan Clarkson will get to start at the 2, or Ochai Agbaji, whichever you choose. This just means more minutes for Colin Sexton and Ochai Agbaji, and I love that because Ochai Agbaji has been impressing me. I think he's one of the most underrated rookies this year. Like, he's a guy that doesn't get talked about, but there's been a couple games I've watched him play where I'm impressed. Like, I think Ochai Agbaji is the guy that, like, there's a reason they wanted him for Donovan Mitchell, and there's a reason that they wanted Walker Kessler for Rudy Gobert, and so they can rebuild a duo around Ochai Agbaji and Walker Kessler, and I think it's going to work. Walker Kessler's already proven to be very good. Ochai Agbaji just needs some opportunity, and I think he's about to get it. So I actually love the trade for Utah. Like, from that aspect, I love it. I think this is great. They're going to get their young guys some more minutes. Mike Conley's a nice vet, you know what I'm saying? Going to a Minnesota Timberwolves roster that I think could use a little maturity at the point guard position as well. At least Anthony Edwards won't be coming down the floor going, oh, okay, here we go. D'Angelo Russell's going to shoot another fucking shot. We're getting rid of that. Mike Conley likes to dish the ball. He's an actual point guard. So I like it for Minnesota. For all I know, this could be better for Minnesota. Having a guy who can at least orchestrate your offense, and to be fair, okay, when Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert played together in Utah, Mike Conley was pretty much the only guy that passed Rudy Gobert the fucking ball. So I like this for Minnesota for that aspect of it. Okay, it's just the idea that we're gonna. I feel like the Timberwolves are gonna benefit immensely from this. Even if he is 35 years old and has 2 years left on his deal, I like it. I like it for Minnesota. They needed this. Lastly is the Lakers. The big questions everyone is going to ask is, does this make them championship contenders again? I definitely think it puts them in the conversation. Because the West is wide open right now. Golden State's not playing well. Sacramento is currently 3rd. The Mavericks got Kyrie Irving. Like, if I'm just being honest, like, I haven't looked at the standings yet. Right now, Sacramento's 3rd. The Clippers are 4th. From the 5 spot down, with exception of Dallas, because Phoenix is 5th. Devin Booker, I think, came back. I could be wrong. Did Devin Booker come back? I kind of want to look at that. No, he is still out. Booker is out for Thursday, February 9th. So Devin Booker is still out. I'm just going to say this. With regards to Dallas, the 5 through 10 spot is wide fucking open, I think. And with the Lakers getting D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt, who is a major pickup for them. Like, Jared Vanderbilt doesn't get his flowers. I'm just going to say that. Jared Vanderbilt is a guy who simply does not get the credit he deserves. Jared Vanderbilt, yes, he's day-to-day with a back injury at the moment, but this is a dude who averages like 8 and 8 a game. Like, he's averaging right now basically 8.5 points a game, 8.3, 8 rebounds a game at 7.9. He's shooting 55% from the floor, 33% from 3 leaves a lot to be desired, and 65% from the free throw line. It's a little worse than you would expect, but he averages a steal a game. He's an underrated passer. He averages 2.7, almost 3 assists a game. He's he's a monster on the offensive glass, and I like him next to Anthony Davis. I like what Jared Vanderbilt's going to be able to bring to this team. I think Jared Vanderbilt's only 23. Like, I don't think people realize just how young Jared Vanderbilt is. Like, he's a guy that is going to get his time in LA. Like, LA's getting younger. They picked up, I think Jared Vanderbilt is part of what makes this entire trade. Because he's a great rebounder. Like, he hustles. He's good. Okay, I'm going to say that. The Lakers are making a move here where they're trying to bolster their backcourt scoring. Like, I don't care what anybody says about Russell Westbrook and D'Angelo Russell, okay? D'Angelo Russell is currently shooting 46% from the field this year and 39% from three and 85% from the free throw line, averaging 18 a game and 6 assists a game with 1.1 steals a game. And 2.7 turnovers is still less than 3, so we'll live with that. He's played 54 games this year. He started all 54 games. D'Angelo Russell's only 26. I get it. He's coming back to the Lakers, but he's coming back to a Lakers team that really needs him. You know, they're going to need his scoring. He's going to be a much more efficient player than Russell Westbrook is. The free throw shooting alone is enough to win them some fucking games at 85%. So I will say this. I love D'Angelo Russell, and Malik Beasley is incredibly underrated. Malik Beasley, yes, his statistics don't look great like they did at the start of the season. He's shooting 39% from the floor and 35% from three, but 84% from the free throw line on 13.5 points a game, essentially. Malik Beasley is 26 years old, and he's a bucket off the bench. I will say that Malik Beasley has been, at the beginning of the year, the dude was like, for the first half of the year, was in 6th man of the year running, and he's 6'4", 0.8 steals a game, which is about where he averages. He only averages 1 turnover a game, which is very good. Doesn't commit a lot of fouls. He's shooting about 48% from the field around the basket, and Jared Vanderbilt is another guy around the basket. His effective field goal percentage from just 2-pointers in general is 60%. So I like this trade. I like this trade for everyone involved, mostly because, like, we knew Utah was tanking. We know the Lakers are trying to be competitive, and so is Minnesota. But Minnesota really needed, like, a true point guard, and they got that. So, all in all, if I'm grading the trade for the Lakers, I'm going to say the Lakers got an A. I'll give them an A. The Lakers, this trade's pretty good. A minus at worst, okay? Lakers, I'll give it an A. The Utah Jazz, I can give it a B. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess we can go there. They got the 2027 first rounder, but it's protected at 1 through 4, which sucks. You had to take on Russell Westbrook, so I'm gonna give them a B minus. Okay, like, just because I was really hoping they would get that pick with maybe no protections on it, which really, honestly, yeah, the Lakers trade's probably an A, a solid A, because they were able to add protections to that 2027 pick, and I didn't think that would be possible. I thought for sure they'd have to give it to Utah unprotected, and they didn't. So, yeah, it's an A for the Lakers. I say B minus, okay, or B, solid B for the Utah Jazz. And for the Timberwolves, It sucks that they had to flip D'Angelo Russell for a guy who's 35. I will say that. But he fits more what they're trying to do in the near term. You at least get a guy who is coming back next year compared to D'Angelo Russell, who we all knew was walking in free agency. What do I want to give Minnesota? A C+. A B minus, that's what I'll give them. C+, B minus, because, like, it's not the end of the world, but it's also like D'Angelo Russell's a guy you would have liked to maybe get a little more youth at point guard out of, like maybe a Colin Sexton, but then again, Colin Sexton would have been the same thing as D'Angelo Russell, so I don't know. Yeah, they didn't get youth, but they got an experienced guy, and that I think is going to help them in the short term here as they try to make a playoff run or a deep playoff run. And Conley's a solid guy. He's a solid vet. So, yeah, C+, B minus, only because maybe a B. Yeah, I can do it. So, A for the Lakers, I actually I could say ABB across the board. ABB for all teams. It's not great, but it's not the end of the world. So yeah, ABB across the board. Lakers A, Utah B, Minnesota B. It's not the end of the world. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.